Ever since his intense confrontation with estranged wife Jenny Farley last Thursday night, Roger Mathews has been telling folks that the truth will come out. That does appear to now be the case, but a question still remains for Mathews. Does this truth make him look like a good guy or a bad guy? Late last week, Mathews and Farley got into a heated debate about the Jersey Shore star once again having to be away from her family for work. This had reportedly been a significant reason why the couple fell into such a downward spiral over the past several months that JWoww filed for divorce in September. After going back and forth with Farley in their New Jersey home, Mathews claimed he grew so annoyed by her threat to dial the police that he went ahead and called her bluff by actually calling them himself. Thanks to Radar Online, we now have evidence that Roger was telling the truth. He really was the person who called the authorities first, but he bashed the heck out of his wife in front of her children while doing so. In the 911 call obtained by Radar from the Toms River Police Department, Mathews explains the ongoing situation to a dispatcher, who says to someone at one point, him and his wife are getting divorced and they're in the middle of getting divorced. She's making up all kinds of stuff. She's threatening to throw him out and call the cops. Again, this is how Mathews has framed things from the beginning. Shortly after he was taken away by the police, Mathews filmed a series of Instagram videos in which he slammed Farley as being hate-filled and said she became completely, uncontrollably emotional. The thing is, this 911 call reveals that Mathews told his little kids the same thing. At another point in the conversation between Mathews and the operator, we can hear 4-year-old Milani and 2-year-old Grayson screaming. To calm them down, or just to emphasize what he thinks is the cause of their distress, Mathews is heard telling the tykes, "Mommy can't control her emotions." Ouch, right? You'd hope, no matter how angry Mathews was at that moment, that he'd be mature and aware enough not to insult the mother of his young children to their faces. Alas! When the operator asked if there are firearms in the house, he replies, "There is, but no one is doing anything. Registered firearms to me. It's not on that level." He says the fight is merely verbal, not physical. Later, Mathews tells the person on the other end of the 911 call, "She's going to wait until I leave and call the police and make up some crazy story. I'm ensuring she cannot do that." Again, from what we understand, this is exactly what transpired. Mathews left the house after he placed his 911 call. JWoww called the cops herself, she got a restraining order against her husband, and he was hauled off in a police cruiser upon his return home. It seems very possible that this timeline is accurate and that Mathews had been telling the broad truth all along about everything that transpired. Still, though, we don't know what was said between the parties in their fight. And we do know that Mathews spent time with his son this weekend. Farley does not seem to be barring him from contact of any kind, despite Roger alleging otherwise. Elsewhere, he has changed his Instagram profile to read, "A humble father in the fight of his life for his children and greater good." Something tell us we haven't heard the last from Mathews on this subject.